Salakia says, I have a question.
I might have an answer.
So, you know how you made your flashcards? Well, I made mine and it's like backwards. Like the answer comes up first.
How did you do that, Kiara?
Oh, can you switch? Can you switch the card? I think that's what you could do on what is it?
Quizlet Con.
Yeah,
I'm just like, what is this? Maybe we can do it like a test.
Just
no, it's backwards.
Just flip it over. Just click it and it'll flip over. Just do that.
Con, but then you guys are gonna see the answers.
No, what I'm saying is because I'm gonna let you share your screen before you just click it, because on Quizlet you can click it and it flips. So just flip it over. Show the question and then flip it back over to show the answer. You're gonna have to do that for everything though. But you
Con, I know, but you guys gonna peep the answer.
Huh?
You're gonna peep the answer.
Well, you better get the fixing right now then. I don't know. We don't want to see the answer.
You can like flip it and then share your screen and then do that for everyone.
Right. But that's yeah.
Con.
Whatever's in the Lord's will. Shalom. So again, this is how it's gonna work. I'm gonna say the question. I'm not flipping it over until everybody gives an answer. I'm not flipping it over until everybody gives an answer. Even if you don't know it, you gotta try. So, she is our foremother and was full of good works and alms deed, made garments and died, but was raised from death. Who is it? Who are we talking about here? Go ahead.
Tabitha.
Okay. Anybody else?
I think her name is like Darzel or Darzel.
Con, okay. Anybody else?
So can you say like you don't know? Can you be like you don't know or something?
Sure. Con. Okay. Anybody else? Going once, going twice. So the answer is Tabitha, also named Dorcas. That she's said in the book of Acts, chapter 9, verse 36 to 41. We can go to the count. So Jasper and Kiara, ding, ding, ding. God. We're gonna go to the count real quick. It's a book of Acts 9, 36 through 41. There was a Yahawa, a certain disciple named Tabitha, which by interpretation is called Dorcas. The woman was full of good works and alms deed, which she did. And it came to pass in those days that she was sick and died, whom when they had washed, they laid her in an upper chamber. And for as much as Lydia was not to Joppa, the disciples had heard that Peter was there, they sent unto him 2 men, desiring him that he would not delay to come to them. Then Peter arose and went with them. When he was come, they brought him into the upper chamber, and all the widows stood by him weeping and shewed the coats and garments which Dorcas made while she was with them. But Peter put them all forth and kneeled down and prayed, and turning him to the body said, Tabitha, arise. And she opened her eyes, and when she saw Peter, she sat up. Hey, the Most High raised her from death. So Tabitha. Next question. Okay. Who did the Most High send Satan to entice in 2 Chronicles chapter 18? Now you can go in your Bible and go search up the answer, because I just gave you the book in the chapter. Quilla, I know you know the answer. Wait till everybody gets a chance. Quilla gonna give y'all the answer, so I'm not gonna let her answer right now. But
so we can look or we don't.
You can go look, because I didn't accidentally. You can go look in the book. I gave it to you. And go find the answer. Hide and seek. Hide and seek. Crickets. Crickets. All right. Y'all there yet? Y'all found the answer? Yay? Nay?
My answer, my guess is Yahawa. That's my guess.
No. Eh. Don't strike it. I'm trying to make it like a game, so I'm gonna make the noises.
I think I got it. I don't know.
What's your guess?
I don't know how to pronounce his name. Is it Ayab, the king of Israel? King of Israel?
Ding ding ding!
Where do you find that?
Flip it over. He sent a lying spirit to entice Ahab, king of Israel. 2 Chronicles chapter 18, verse 17 through 22. And we'll go to the account.
Slovakia. There's another account in 1 Kings chapter 22. Or it's the same account, Con.
And it reads, and the king of Israel said to Jehoshaphat, did I not tell thee that he would not prophesy good unto me, but evil? And he said, therefore, hear the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sit upon his throne, and all the host of heaven standing on his right hand and on his left. And the Lord said, who shall entice Ahab, king of Israel, that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one spake, saying after this manner, and another saying after that manner. Then there came out a spirit and stood before the Lord and said, I will entice him. And the Lord said unto him, wherewith? And he said, I will go out and be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And the Lord said, thou shalt entice him, and thou shalt also prevail. Go out and do even so. So that was the answer for that. Oopsies. Okay. Why did Moses want Aaron to speak for him in Egypt?
Because he wasn't a well-spoken speaker.
Aquila, what was
because he stuttered.
Yeah.
Con.
That's right. Ding ding ding, all of y'all. Because he wasn't eloquent in speech. That's Exodus chapter 8. Exodus 8. It's like Exodus chapter 4, verse 10 through 14. And it reads, and Moses said unto the Lord, O my Lord, I am not eloquent, neither heretofore, nor since thou hast spoken unto thy servant, but I am slow of speech. I am slow of speech and of a slow tongue. And the Lord said unto him, who hath made man's mouth, or who maketh the dumb or deaf, or seeing or blind, have not I the Lord? We're going to skip down. The anger of the Lord was kindled against Moses, and he said, is not Aaron the Levite thy brother? I know that he can speak well, and also behold, he cometh forth to meet thee, and when he seeth thee, he will be glad in his heart. And thou shalt speak unto him, and put words in his mouth, and I will be with thy mouth, and with his mouth, and will teach you what ye shall do. So, who did Jacob wrestle to get his name Israel?
An angel.
Yeah, an angel.
Ding ding ding. The count, Genesis chapter 32, verse 22 through 32. Who sold Joseph into slavery, and who was he sold to?
His 12 brothers into the Egyptians.
I don't know if the Egyptians are the same people as the. Okay, never mind. Anybody
the
else
Ethiopians is one of them. I'm sorry.
Anybody else got an answer?
Wasn't it? Oh wait, Slovakia. I think that his brothers and then the Ishmael, something like that.
Dasa, you want to give it a try? Colin, Mercedes.
Slovakia, I'm driving.
Are you
I
good?
think it is. I think he was given to the Egyptians by his 12 brothers.
All right, so the answer is yeah, he was sold by his brothers and sold to the Ishmaelites. So let's go to the account. Let's pull it. I don't know if the Ishmaelites and the Egyptians are the same folks, so that's why I ain't saying that.
I thought the Egyptians was like the Ethiopians and stuff like that. I do not know.
And it came to pass when Joseph was coming to his birth. Nah, I'm gonna just hold on. Mm, 22 to 30. Brian, I'm really not sure. Okay, we're gonna start at verse. I don't want to give y'all the other answers to another question. Okay, we're just gonna read verse 27. Come and let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let not our hand be upon him, for he is our brother and our flesh. What his brethren were content. So he was sold to the Ishmaelites by his brother. What is the Most High's favorite bird? Everybody try to answer. Even if you don't know, say I don't know.
The Most High's favorite bird is a dove.
Con.
I don't know.
Yeah, dove.
Con, that's correct. That is correct. This you can find it in a dove. 2nd Ezra chapter 5, verse 23 to 27. So we're gonna go to the count. We're gonna pull it. Excuse me. And it reads, where was I? And of all the fowls that are created, thou hast named one dove, and all of the cattle that are made, thou hast provided the one sheep. So the Most High favorite bird is a dove. What did Moses sprinkle on the Israelites what did Moses sprinkle to secure the covenant? I don't think I meant to say the Israelites, but what did he sprinkle to secure the covenant?
Can I answer?
Can
Blood.
you repeat the question? I didn't hear you.
Can you see my screen, Fowler?
Oh, now I can't select it.
You're good. You said what
Moses,
key? Slocky, go ahead.
he sprinkled blood on the Israelites.
Con, all those answers are correct. Exodus chapter 24, 8, Moses sprinkled blood, 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 blood.
This girl.
Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people and said, behold, the blood of the covenant which the Lord had made with you concerning all these words. Why did Cain kill Abel?
Cain
I would
killed
say
Abel.
he was jealous.
He was jealous of.
Cain killed
Because not Christ. The Most High chose him instead of his brother instead of him.
Anybody else want to give it a try?
I got it. Cain killed Abel because he was mad about the fact the Most High accepted Abel's sacrifice and not his.
Anybody else want to give it a try?
He was jealous.
What everyone else is saying.
Cain was jealous that the Most High noticed Abel's offering. Abel was getting better offerings, and you can find that in the book of Genesis chapter 4. We're gonna start at verse 1 and read on down. And Adam knew Eve was his wife, and Adam knew Eve his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. And she again bare his brother Abel, and Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in process of time, and in process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought out of the fruit of the ground offering unto the Lord. And Abel, he also brought out the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof, and the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering. We're gonna read down to verse 8. And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him. He was jealous. What is the Most High's favorite flower and cattle?
I don't know what the cattle is, but I know his favorite flower is a lily.
Con.
Con, same answer.
Lily. Same
Con.
answer.
Con. Anybody want to try on the cattle?
Could it be like cattle of sheep or something? No, that's a herd. Never
That's
mind.
right. Sheep.
That's what I was thinking.
That's a
Ooh.
spirit. You can
I
get
didn't
that in
even
the
know
same
sheep was a
account.
cattle.
You can find that same exact account where we just pulled Exodus chapter 5. Hold on, what's it? No, so like it. Second Ezra's 5. Same account that we just pulled to show his favorite bird was a dove. And this is verse 24. And of all the lands of the whole world, thou hast chosen thee one pit, and of all the flowers thereof one lily. Verse 26. And of all the cattle that are made, thou hast provided thee one sheep. Favorite cattle is the sheep. Favorite bird is the dove. Favorite flower is the lily.
Con.
How many books are in the Apocrypha?
There are 14 books in the Apocrypha.
Con, ding, ding, ding.
14.
Shalom, sis.
Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, next question. Is y'all ready? Was Adam and Eve the only two people on the earth? Now, this can get controversial, but point upon tables.
La'a.
Con. Exactly. They were not. It was not just them, it was more than Adam and Eve. And the precept I like to use to refer and prove that they were not the only people on the earth is Genesis. I like to take it back to the beginning, 26 and 28. And Yahawa said, let us make man in our image after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air and over the cattle and over all the earth and over every creeping thing that creepeth onto the earth. Hold on, because there's a precept. I can't think of where right now, but how I took this, when it says let us make man in our image and after our likeness, I believe Yahweh Shah was with Yahawa when he was creating everything. And there's a precept to prove that. I just can't think about it right now. I can't remember what book it's in, but I think it's in the I think it's in Psalms, and it's in Psalms. I can't think of it right now. But anyway, so Yahweh created man in his own image, and the image of Yahweh created he him, male and female created he them, and Yahweh blessed them, and Yahweh said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the earth and over every living thing that move upon the earth. So that's the precept I like to use to prove that Adam and Eve were not the only people on the earth. What precept do y'all like to refer to?
I got a precept.
What precept? Bring it up.
Ezekiel 31:9. I have made him fair by the multitude of his branches, so that all the trees of Eden that were in the garden of God envied him. And another precept to go with that, to show that men are trees.
Come on. Are you done? I mean, it's not rude. It got quiet. And I didn't want to like interrupt you if you were still looking for something. Okay. Who wrote the
I gotta find.
Go ahead.
I gotta find the one with the energy, but we can continue.
Who wrote the Bible?
Our forefathers.
Okay. Okay. Who wrote the Bible?
Israelites. Basically the same thing that the sister said.
The prophets.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Kind. So yeah, the prophets who the Most High preordained, and they're removed by the Spirit. 2 Peter 1:21 and Luke 1:70 both basically say the same thing, that that was moved by the Spirit of the Most High Yahweh Shema Shah. So when folks say, "Oh, the white man wrote the book," no, he did not. The Bible was moved by the prophets. He spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began. And then also another account in 1 Peter chapter 1 and verse 21. And it says, is that the right one? 2 Peter, Salakia. The prophecy came not in old time by the will of man, but holy men of Yahawa spake as they were moved by the Holy Ghost. Okay. Who did Yahweh Shai call a dog?
That
Like
Edomite that, no, I don't know if it's Edomite, but that heathen that was grabbing at his robe.
Mhm.
Was it the Canaanite? Was it the Canaanite woman?
Canaanite woman. Matthew chapter 15, verse 21 through 28. That's the account to prove that Hawashai called the Canaanite woman a dog. And it's just another account just to show like Yahweh Shema Shai despise these heathens. They look at them as spittle, and I think it's a precept on that, but I can't think. Like they look at them as nothing because they are nothing. So yeah. And then Yahawashi went thence and departed into the coast of Tyre and Sidon. And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast and cried unto him, saying, Have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed with the devil. And we're going to skip down. And he said, but he answered and said, It is not meet to take the children's bread and to cast it to dogs. Whew. Oh. Why were some Israelites called Gentiles?
because they don't have the laws. They don't live by the laws.
Come on. Anybody else want to give it a try?
Same what she said.
Come on. Anybody else want to give it a try?
They were taking, they were doing the customs of the heathens.
Come on. Anybody else want to give it a try?
I was just gonna say there were Israelites following after the traditions of the Greeks at the time, when they were saying like there's what's that verse that goes like there's neither nor Jew nor Greek, something like that.
Come on. Anybody else?
Talking about.
Anybody else want to give it a try?
I say the same thing. They were doing the heathen customs.
All of y'all are correct. That's exactly right. Because they wanted to be like the other nations in a Gentile state of mind, basically straying away from the Most High and His covenant. So following the traditions of the heathens, trying to be like the heathens, not caring about the Most High and the law, statute, commandments. All of those answers are correct, and that's why some Israelites are called Gentiles. That's a mighty precept. The water, mighty sister. So wherefore, remember that ye being pastime Gentiles in the flesh, who are called uncircumcision by that which is called the circumcision in the flesh made by hands, that at the time you were without Hamashiach, being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel and strangers from the covenants of promise, having no hope and without Yahweh in the world. So basically, they was going off, feeling the lust of their flesh. And then that's why some Israelites were called Gentiles. And I think I have another precept to go with that. Ephraim is joined to idols, let him alone. So this is another precept. We was sacrificing, we was doing false gods, worshiping false idols and stuff like that. When did the Most High say you can cut a woman's hand off? I first started calling out folks.
When she touches like a man's genitals.
Okay. All right. Anybody else want to give it a try?
When no woman touches a man's like area.
Anybody else want to give it a Okay, go ahead, sis.
I was thinking when I said genitals, I just said rod.
Anybody else want to give it a try? Going once? Going twice? The answer is the Most High said you can cut a woman's hand off if two men are fighting and she tries to defend her husband by grabbing the other man's private area. So basically, if you see two men fighting, mind your business. Okay, mind your business. Don't be trying to get in the mix. All right. And when men strive together with one another, and the wife of the one draweth near for to deliver her husband out of the hand of him that smiteth him, and putteth forth her hand and taketh him by the secrets, then thou shalt cut off her hand, thine eyes shall not pity her. So if two men are fighting, if your husband and another man is fighting, and you try to get in the mix and grab the other man by his genital, his private area, the Most High said you can cut her hand off. How many stones?
That's kind of off to grab another man anyways.
Very off. That's very off. How many stones are on the gemstone?
Is that talking about the ephod? The ephod?
12.
I think it represents the. Go ahead.
It's like you're good.
I would just say 12.
12.
I was gonna say 12.
12 stones on a gemstone represent the 12 tribes of Israel. So we're gonna go to the count. Exodus chapter 28 and verse 17. We're gonna start there. And thou shalt set it in settings of stones, even 4 rows of stones. The first shall be called a sardius, a topaz, and a carbuncle. This shall be the first row. And the second row shall be an emerald, a sapphire, and a diamond. And the third row, a ligure, an agate, and an amethyst. And the fourth row, a beryl, an onyx, and a jasper. They shall be set in gold in their enclosings. And the stones shall be with the names of the children of Israel. 12, according to their names, like the engravings of a signet, every one with his name shall they be according to the 12 tribes. How many curses are in Deuteronomy chapter 28?
I don't know.
A lot.
I'm gonna say 15, just a guess.
15? What?
Okay, 40.
Guess a little bit higher.
I was gonna say 28.
Okay, anybody else want to try?
I know it's a lot.
12.
Yeah, 68.
That's how I did the math.
No,
the curses start at Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 16. And they end at 68. So I did 68 minus 16. I got 52.
Did you actually like go in there and count them, or you did the math?
I just told you I did the math. Look, hold on. This is how I did it. It said, but if it shall come to pass, if thou will not hearken unto the Lord of thy God, observe to do his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, then that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So it starts at verse 16. 1, 2, 3, 4. You feel me? Go all the way down to 68. The last curse is verse 68. So 68 minus 16, 52 curse. Hey, that's how I did it.
What if some verses are a continuation of like the last curse?
It's still a curse.
Okay.
That could be a different answer. Is Yahawa and Yahawa the same person?
No.
No.
Huh? I hope everybody took themselves off mute to say that. Okay, there y'all already know there's a lot of precepts to prove that it's not, but I just pulled two. So Matthew 24 and 36. Basically, y'all know in that account, Yahweh Shah's basically saying like the day he returned, don't even know. The angels don't even know. Only the Most High, his Father know. Only Yahweh know. And how in the freak can Yahweh Shah and Yahweh be the same person if he don't even know when he come back? So that's a precept I like to use to show that. And then another one I like to use is 1 Corinthians 11 and 3. Another one I like to use is 1 Corinthians 11 and 3. And it's basically going into how the head of, but I will have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Yahweh, so like it. But I will have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Hamashiach is Yahweh. So that's another precept I like to use personally to show that. Does the Most High have a real body, or is he just a spirit?
I'm gonna say he has a real body.
I don't know.
I think real.
All right. Anybody else want to give it a try?
Is it spirit?
Okay, anybody else want to give it a try?
I think I would say that he does, because in the beginning, when you read in Genesis, it says, "Let us make man in our image." So having an image, like let us make man in our image. So that goes to tell you that he did have a body.
That's a beautiful example. How you gonna make somebody in your image and you ain't got no body? Then just some more precepts. He has a real body because he sits on the throne. I don't know no spirit just sitting on the throne now.
I was gonna say the same thing.
So we can get that in Revelation 7:15, and it reads, "Therefore are they before the throne of Yahweh, and serve him day and night in his temple, and he that sitteth on the throne shall dwell among them." And then we got 1 Kings 22 and 19. And it read, wrong book. 1 Kings 22 and 19, and it reads, "And the Lord who shall persuade Ahab, and he said, Hear thou therefore the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting on his throne, and the host of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left." So it goes to show he has a body, because right hand and left. So kind. Who is the oldest brother out of the 12 tribes of Israel?
Was it Reuben?
Reuben.
And we can prove that in Genesis 49 and 3 and Exodus 1 and 2. So let's get Genesis 49 and 3. And it reads, "Reuben, thou art my firstborn, my might, in the beginning of my strength, the excellence of dignity and the excellence of power." And also in Exodus, there was naming the 12 tribes of Israel from oldest to youngest. "Now these are the names of the children of Israel, which came as of Egypt. Every man in his household came of Jacob: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin, Dan, and Naphtali, Gad, and Asher." So Reuben is the oldest. That's big bro. Big bro. Why did the Most High split up northern and southern kingdom? Anybody want to take a guessy guess? Anybody want to take a guessy guess?
Dang, I feel like I should know this.
It's okay. I don't know everything. I'm going once. Going twice. Aquila, you want to answer?
Con.
Con, bring it out.
Because Solomon went off.
Con. That's right. Solomon went off. He did not keep the Most High law, statutes, commandments. And you can read that account in 1 Kings 11, verse 11, and verses 31 through 40. So that is why Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom was split, because Solomon was going off.
Con. That's the same account where in the beginning of the chapter where Solomon's wives had him to commit idolatry. And then in verse 32, well, I'll read from verse 31 to not the whole account, but this is 1 Kings chapter 11 and verse 30. And Ahaya caught the new garment that was on him and rent it in 12 pieces. And he said to Jeroboam, take thee 10 pieces, for thus saith Yahawa, the power of Israel, behold, I will rend the kingdom out of the hand of Solomon, and will give 10 tribes to thee. And we know 10 tribes is Northern Kingdom. But he shall have one tribe for my servant David's sake, and for Jerusalem's sake, the city which I have chosen out of all the tribes of Israel. So Judah, so it was just Judah and Northern Kingdom and Israel. It was Judah and Israel. So when you read like Israel, you know that that's going into Northern Kingdom after this account. And then when you read Judah, that's Southern Kingdom.
Con. Con. Who were Jacob's wives?
Jacob's wives, Rachel and Leah.
Okay, anybody else want to try?
It was Rachel and Leah.
And then their two handmaids, Zilpah and Bilhah, something like that.
Con. So Jacob had 4 wives, because we know sex is marriage. And he had 2 handmaids. He laid down all 4 of them, meaning he had 4 wives. So so Leah and Rachel, and then the handmaids Bilhah and Zilpah, they were all his wives, because he laid down with all of them. You can read that account in Genesis 29 and 17, and then Genesis 29, verse 21 down on to 30. Let's get it real quick. Leah was tender-eyed, but Rachel was beautiful and well-favored, and Jacob loved Rachel and said, I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel, thy younger daughter. And Laban said, it is better that I give her to thee than that I should give her to another man, abide with thee. And Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed unto him but a few days for the love he had to her. And then we're going to read down to, and Laban gave it to his daughter Leah, Zilpah his maid, for a handmaid. And it came to pass that in the morning, behold, it was Leah. And he said to Laban, what is it thou hast done unto me? Did I not serve thee for Rachel? Wherefore then hast thou beguiled me? And then reading down, it said, and Laban said, it must not be so done in our country to give the younger before the firstborn. Fulfill her week, and we will give thee this also. And for the service which thou shalt serve me, yet 7 other years, like you. And Jacob did so and fulfilled her week, and he gave him Rachel, his daughter, to wife also. And Laban gave to Rachel his daughter Bilhah, his handmaid, to be her maid. And he went in also unto Rachel, and he loved also Rachel more than Leah, and served with him yet 7 other years. And when the Lord saw that Leah was hated, he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren. So, he was wived up. Who did Leah give birth to?
Um. Uh. Hold up.
Was it Zebulon?
Yeah, but
Salakia.
she gave birth more than she gave birth.
I got it.
It wasn't just Zebulon though. It was a few more.
Genesis 35 and 23. Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun.
Come on, you missing one more.
Let me see. Hold on.
She gave birth to a girl.
Dinah?
Khan.
Was that Dinah or Dina?
Dinah, Khan. She gave birth to Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, and Dinah. And you can find the accounts in Genesis chapter 29, verse 32 to 35, and in Genesis chapter 30, verse 22. How do you get eternal life?
Keeping a lot.
Live.
Con.
Keep the commandments. Keeping the commandments. That's Matthew 19 and 16. And that's how you get eternal life. Fearing the Most High and keeping them law, statutes, and commandments. And it reads, and behold, one came and said unto him, Good master, what good thing shall I do that I may have eternal life? And he said unto him, Why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, that is Yahawa. But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments. Now, how did Judith kill Holofernes?
She cut his head off.
Anybody else want to try?
man's head off.
Same. Cut his head off.
Come on, anybody else want to try?
Con, I was gonna say the same thing. That he went to sleep, no? He went to sleep, and then like once he fell asleep, that's when she cut his head off.
Con, she killed him by beheading him. She took a machete and sliced his head from his body and rolled his body off the bed. Now that ain't nothing but the Most High Spirit, because ain't no way. That is nothing but the Most High Spirit. She beheaded this man and then tumbled his body off the bed. That is the Most High Spirit. And in the account we can pull in a minute, it says a Fashon. So this is what a Fashon is. Okay, that is not what. Hold on. Let's go to account. Let's go to the account. I think it was Judah chapter 13, 5 and 10. So let's go to it. For now is the time to help thine inheritance and to execute mine enterprises, the destruction of the enemies which are risen against us. I spelled it wrong. Fuck you. Let me. What the freak is this? Why is they playing me like this? So yeah, he had one of these, and she cut that man head off. One of these right on.
Con.
So yeah, and approached to his bed. Now then she came to the pillar of the bed, which is at Olophernes' head, and took down his falcon from thence, and approached to his bed, and took hold of the hair of his head, and said, Strengthen me, O Lord Yahweh of Israel, this day. And she smote twice upon his neck with all her might. She took away his head from him. She beheaded this man, and tumbled his body down from the bed, and pulled down the canopy from the pillars. And anon, after she went forth, and gave Ophernes his head to her maid. And she put it in her bag of meat. So they twain went together according to their custom of prayer. When they passed the camp, they compassed the valley and went up the mountain of Bethel and came to the gates thereof. Man, she beheaded this man and put his head in the bag. Oh yeah, she tough.
Judith was mighty.
That's crazy.
Oh, that's the Most High Spirit. Who was Raphael?
Ooh,
An angel?
an angel.
Archangel?
Yeah.
Con. Anybody else want to give it a try?
Same.
Con. Raphael was also called Azarias. He was an angel who went on a journey with Tobias, getting 10 talents of silver. You can find that account in the book of Tobit. But we're just going to pull the account how he was an angel. So let's go to the book of Tobit. Let's bring it out. Let's go to the account. The book of Tobit, chapter, we're going to go to verse. So it's like we're going to go to verse 5. And it reads, Therefore, when he went to seek a man, he found Raphael, that was an angel. And reading on down, then he said, I am Azarias, the son of Anias the great, and of thy brethren. So he was Raphael the angel, also called Azarias. How many days are you unclean after giving birth to a girl?
A lot.
80 days.
Con. Yes, ma'am, Hadassah. You are unclean 80 days. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 12, and verse 5. And it reads, but if she bear a child, then she shall be unclean 2 weeks as in her separation, and she shall continue in the blood of her purifying 66 days. So let's do the math. 2 weeks is 14 days, right?
Con.
Now when it says 3 score means 60 days, and then it says and 6. So 3 score and 6, meaning 66 days in total, because 3 score means 60, and then it says and 6. So 66 plus 14, that's 80 days. So you are unclean 80 days after giving birth to a girl. How many days are you unclean after giving birth to a boy? Anybody else want to give it a try?
Is it 30 something days?
Anybody else want to give it a try? So the answer is 40. It's the book of Leviticus chapter 2 and verse 4. It's like a book of Leviticus chapter 12, verse 2 through 4. Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, if a woman have conceived seed and born a man child, then she shall be unclean 7 days, according to the days of the separation, for her infirmity shall be unclean. Reading down to verse 4, and she shall then continue in the blood of her purifying 30 days. She shall touch no hallowed thing, nor come into the sanctuary until the days of her purifying be fulfilled. So 30 days is 33 plus 7, you unclean 40 days. Who were Joseph's sons?
Manassas and
Ephraim? Oh yeah, she said.
yeah, Manasseh and Ephraim.
This you can find that in the book of Genesis, chapter 41, verse 50 through 52. Y'all, my Sabbath over. What the freak? We're gonna keep this thing going through the spirit. And Cain and unto Joseph were born 2 sons before the years of famine came, which Manassas, the daughter of Potipharah, priest of On, bare unto him. And Joseph called the name of the firstborn Manasseh, for Yahawa said, he hath made me forget all my toil and all my father's house. And the name of the second called he Ephraim, for Yahawa hath caused me to be fruitful in the land of my affliction. Who did Bilhah bear? Who did she give birth to? Okay. Anybody else want to try it with the fruit? Anybody else want to give it a try? Going once. Mayan, you want to give it a try?
Lucky, I was using the restroom, but Dan.
Okay. Anybody else want to give it a try?
Y'all know say.
All right. The answer is Dan, but she also bore another son. Anybody else want to give it a try on that one? It wasn't just Dan. Going once. Going twice. What the freak? Come on. All right. So the answer is Dan and Naphtali. So we can find in the book of Genesis. It's a lot if I'm pronouncing their names wrong. And it reads, and Bilhah conceived and bare Jacob a son. And Rachel said, Yahweh hath judged me, and hath also heard my voice, and hath given me a son. Therefore called his name Dan. And Bilhah, Rachel's maid, conceived again, and bare a second son. And Rachel said, with great wrestlings, which I have wrestled with my sister, and I have prevailed. And she called his name Naphtali. So she bare two sons. Who was one of the female judges in Israel?
Deborah.
Fine, that's right. Deborah, Judges 4 and 4. And it reads, and Deborah, a prophetess, the wife of Lapidoth, she judged Israel at that time. Why are we commanded to wear fringes with a border of blue?
To remember the commandments, the law, statutes, and commandments.
Okay.
To remind the commandment as a reminder.
All right. Anyone else?
What they said.
Okay. I guess let me ask this. What initiated us wearing fringes with a border of blue? What happened to where we have to wear border of blue and fringes?
Oh, we went off.
Did we?
Did we? I don't know. Israel was doing, we always doing the most.
Okay, well, let's go to the account. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 15, and verse 30. And start at 30. I'm starting verse 31. Because he have despised the word of the Lord and have broken his commandment, that soul shall be utterly cut off, his iniquity shall be upon him. And while the children of Israel were in this wilderness, they found a man that gathered sticks upon the Sabbath day. And they that found him gathering sticks brought him unto Moses and Aaron and unto all the congregation. And they put in ward because it was not declared what should be done unto him. And the Lord said unto Moses, the man shall be surely put to death. All the congregation shall stone him with stones without the camp. And all the congregation brought him without the camp and stoned him with stones, and he died as the Lord commanded Moses. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue. And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it, and remember all the commandments of the Lord, and do them, and that ye seek not after your own heart and your own eyes, after which you used to go whoring. So y'all was right. So the answer is because what happened why we got to wear fringes is because somebody was going off on a Sabbath day gathering sticks. So the Lord said, speaking to the children of Israel, that they wear fringes on a border of blue, and we also wear them to remember the commandments. So that is the correct answer. How many times do Yahawa say we must forgive?
Every time.
Yeah. 70 times 7.
70 times 7. This is the book of Matthews. 18. Verse 22. Yahawa said unto them, I say not to thee until 7 times, but until 70 times 7. Let me start at verse 21, Salaki. Then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how often shall my brother sin against me, and I forgive him? 7 times? Yahawa said unto him, I say not unto thee, It's until 7 times, but it's until 70 times 7. What did Joseph have that made his brothers jealous?
The coat.
Okay, anybody else want to give it a try?
The coat of wonderful colors.
Okay, anybody else want to give it a try?
Well, his brothers had an evil eye towards him because they saw that he was loved of Jacob, their father, and he was having dreams from the Most High. Also, like just to add.
Con. So he had a coat of many colors. So let's go to the count. Genesis 37. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children because he was the son of his old age, and he made him a coat of many colors. And when his brethren saw that their father loved him more than all his brethren, they hated him and could not speak peaceably unto him. Con. Who sent demons into pigs?
Yahushua.
Yahawa.
Con. Con. Matthew 8:32. Let's go to it. And he said unto them, Go. And when they were come out, they went into the herd of swine. And behold, the whole herd of swine ran violently down a steep place into the sea and perished in the waters. I should have started at verse 29 because it tells you that it was Yahawa. And behold, they cried out, saying, What have we to do with thee, Yahawa, thou son of Yahawa? Art thou come hither to torment us before time? So kind. What kind of animal did Samson kill with his bare hands?
A donkey.
You said a what? Kind. Anybody else want to try?
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Samson killed a lion with his bare hand.
Kind. Kind. Judges chapter 14, verse 5 through 6. And it reads, Then went Samson down and his father and his mother to Timnath and came to the vineyards of Timnath, and behold, a young lion roared against him. And the spirit of the Lord came mightily upon him, and he rent him as he would have not as he would and he rent him as he would have rent a kid, and he had nothing in his hand, but he told not his father or his mother what he had done. Love you more. Who performed a similar miracle to Yahawa by feeding a large number of men with only a few loaves? Anybody want to give it a try? Elisha. You can find it in the book of 2 Kings, chapter 4, verse 38, and then verses 42 to 44. We can go to it. You can go to it, verse 38, and then verses 42 to 44. And when Elisha came to Gilgal, and there was a dearth in the land, and the sons of the prophets were sitting before him. And he said unto his servant, set on the great pot, and seek the pottage of the sons of the prophets. And then reading on, and there came a man from Baal Shalisha, and brought the man of Yahawa bread of the first fruits, 20 loaves of barley, and 4 ears of corn, and the husks thereof. And he said, give unto the people that they may eat. And his servitor said, what shall I set this before 100 men? He said again, give the people that they may eat, for thus saith the Lord, they shall eat and shall leave thereof. So he set it before them, and they did eat and left thereof, according to the word of the Lord. Whose birth was described in Luke 2nd chapter? Y'all can go look for the answer in Luke 2nd chapter. Go look in Luke
Yahweh's
2nd
birth.
chapter. What'd you say?
Yahweh's birth.
Con. Luke the 2nd chapter, it talks about Yahweh's birth.
That was like my automatic guess. That's the only birth I know of in the Bible.
Con. We're just gonna read verse. Where is that verse at? And when 8 days were accomplished for the circumcision of the child, his name was called Yahawa, which was so named of the angel before he was conceived in the womb. Who was the first king of Israel?
Samuel.
Anybody else want to give it a try?
Saul.
Anybody else want to give it a try?
Only Saul.
Answer is Saul. Slacky, go ahead. I cut you off. So, we can get the account in 1 Samuel chapter 8 and verse 4 through 7. Then all the elders of Israel gathered themselves together and came to Samuel and to Ramah and said unto him, behold, thou art old, and thy sons walk not in thy ways. Now make us a king to judge us like all the nations. But the thing displeased Samuel when they said, give us a king to judge us. And Samuel prayed unto the Lord. And the Lord said unto Samuel, hearken unto the voice of the people and all that they say unto thee, for they have not rejected thee, but they have rejected me, that I should not reign over them. Go to chapter 9, verse 17, and it reads, and when Samuel saw Saul, the Lord said unto him, behold, the man whom I spake to thee of, this same shall reign over my people. So Saul was the first king. Why did the Most High dry up the Jordan River? Anybody want to give it a try? I need some more sliders, man. I'm gonna go in the kitchen. Anybody want to give it a try?
Didn't he dry up the river because he wanted to exalt Joshua or something like that?
Not to my knowledge.
I think he dried up the Jordan River so the Israelites can get through.
Cain, he dried up the river so we could get through. Let's get to the count in Joshua 3:15. I love how interactive y'all are. All praise to the Most High. And it reads, and as they that bear the ark were coming to Jordan, and the feet of the priests that bear the ark were dipped in the brim of the water, that the waters which came down from above stood and rose up upon and heaped very far from the city Adam that is beside Zeraton, and those that came down toward the sea of the plain, even the salt sea, failed and were cut off, and the people passed over right up against Jericho. And the priests that bear the ark of the covenant of the Lord stood firm on dry ground in the midst of Jordan, and all the Israelites passed over on dry ground until all the people were passed clean over Jordan. So the Most High dried up the river of Jordan so we could pass through that thing. Who said, in my father's house are many mansions?
Yahawa.
Cain.
Shy.
You can find it in the book of John, chapter 14, and verse 2. Where's it at? The book of John. And it reads, in my father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you I go to prepare a place for you. We also know this is Yahawa speaking, because it says, let not your heart be troubled. You believe in Yahweh, believe also in me. How many people were on Noah's ark?
7.
Anybody else want to give it a try?
8.
Cain. Anybody else want to give it a try?
8 people.
Cain.
I
And
can't connect to the Wi-Fi network. You might want to check the connection settings in the Google Home app.
girl, what? Anybody told you to do my Google? It's Genesis 7:13. And the self same day enter Noah and Sem and Ham and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and Noah's wife, and 3 sons of his, and the 3 wives of his sons with them into the ark. There's 8 people. How did Yahawa prove to Peter he was really the son of Yahweh? How did he prove to Peter that he was really Yahawa? Anybody want to give it a try? Going once? All right. He proved this by letting him walk on the water with him. Now let's get that account. Matthew chapter 14. And we're going to read. And in the 4th watch of the night, Yahawa went unto them walking on the sea. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, it is a spirit. And they cried out for fear. But straightway Yahawa spake unto them, saying, be of good cheer, it is I, be not afraid. And Peter answered and said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee on the water. And he said, come. And when Peter was down out of the ship, he walked on the water to go to Yahawa. But when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried, saying, Lord, save me. And immediately Yahawa stretched forth his hand and called him and said unto him, O thou little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt? So he proved to Peter he was really Yahawa by letting him walk in that water with him. Yahawa said that lilies are even more beautifully dressed than who? Who did Yahawa say, man, these lilies look better than so-and-so? Yeah, Yahawa funny. Anybody want to get
Solomon.
Khan? King Solomon, you can find in the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 28 to 29, and it reads, "And why take ye thought for remnant? Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They toil not, neither do they spin. And yet I say unto thee that even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these." That's crazy. I done read that book a few times and I ain't peeped that. What tribe of Israel was David from? So like a Daniel from? I think I meant to put David, but I'm not sure. Yeah, what tribe of Israel was Daniel from? Yeah, Daniel. Take a guess. It's not the oldest. He's not the oldest. The tribe is not the oldest. It's not the youngest. It's in the middle. Yahawa from that same tribe.
Judah.
Khan.
Judah.
The book of Judah.
Judah.
Okay, that's the spirit. Who just did that?
Mayan.
The spirit. All right. Now, among these were the children of Judah: Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. It definitely was Judah. What book comes before Galatians? Everybody would answer this question. All you gotta do is flip open that Bible and see.
Second Corinthians.
Crime. Which son of Jacob was kept as a hostage by Joseph in Egypt?
Wasn't it Joseph kept hostage?
Benjamin.
Oh, Khan.
It was Benjamin.
Benjamin.
Benjamin?
Shalom, sis.
Was it really Benjamin?
Khan, I believe so.
I believe it was Simeon. Genesis 42, verse 23 through 24. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. We're going to read that count. We're going to go to it. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm going to fix it. Y'all don't stone me, but we're going to go to the count. All right, look. And they knew not that Joseph understood them, for he spake unto them by an interpreter. And he turned himself about from them and wept and returned to them again and communed with them and took from them Simeon and bound him before their eyes.
What is the difference between the first light spoken of in Genesis chapter 1 and the second light?
Aquila. Aquila. I just know that was you.
I'm trying to figure this out.
What did David, Herod, Solomon, and Nebuchadnezzar all have in common? Y'all better get this right.
They were all
All
from
kings.
the same tribe.
All from, wait a minute.
All kings.
Come on, they were all kings. Con. What happened to Lot's wife?
She turned to a pillar of salt.
Con. That's Genesis 19.
Back. Oh, Salaki.
Go ahead, Mayan.
She had turned back around and looked back at, I forgot the place, but yeah, and then turned to salt.
Con. But his wife looked back from behind him and she became a pillar of salt. That's, man, quit playing with Yahawa about Shemal Shah. Most of them made this girl salt. Who are the Israelites? You better get it right.
So-called blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
That's right.
She says, "Hi."
Hey.
The angel
Not
that was
different.
standing. No, never mind.
Oh, was it Balaam or Balak?
Hey, y'all, when I read this account, I said, what? I said, wait a minute. The Most High got animals talking? I said, what? It's like, we're playing with Yahawa. I ain't never read that account until I was doing the trivia today. I was like, wait a minute. We're going to go to the account. Numbers 22 and 21 through 35. And Balaam rose up in the morning and saddled his ass and went with the princes of Moab. And Yahweh's anger was kindled because he went, and the angel of the Lord stood in the way for adversary against him. And now he was riding upon his ass, and his two servants. So like it, as his two servants was with him. And the ass saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way, and his sword drawn in his hand. And the ass turned aside out of the way and went into the field. And Balaam smote the ass to turn her into the way. But the angel of the Lord stood in the path of the vineyards, a wall being on this side, a wall on that side. And when the ass saw the angel of the Lord, she thrust herself upon the wall and crushed Balaam's foot against the wall, and he smote her again. And the angel of the Lord went further and stood in a narrow place where was no way to turn, either to the right hand or to the left. And when the ass saw the angel of the Lord, she fell down under Balaam, and Balaam's anger was kindled, and he smote the ass with a staff. And the Lord opened the mouth of the ass. She said unto Balaam, what have I done unto thee, that thou hast smitten me these 3 times?
I was scared.
Like, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Who were thrown into a fiery furnace in the book of Daniel, the 3rd chapter?
Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 3. Verse 19. Then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury, and the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 7 times more than it was wont to be heat. And he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and to cast them into a burning fury furnace. These men were bound in their coats, their hosen, and their hats, and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fury furnace. And last but not least, here's the last question. Who said we should greet one another with a holy kiss? Anybody want to give it a try?
Yahawa.
No. Anybody want to give it a try? The answer is Paul in the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 16 and verse 20. And all the brethren greet ye one another with an holy kiss. So that is all I had. Now I'm giving the screen to Kiara. Kiara, whenever you're ready.
Actually, so I fixed it on my laptop, and I was thinking of just like recording like my laptop because I can't figure out how to fix it on my phone. Did you hear me?
So you're gonna do what?
Like just record it on my phone, like flip the camera and show my laptop.
Okay, come.
So like, I'm just getting some ice cream.
She just said she getting ice cream.
What'd you say, sis?
I said, did you just say you getting ice cream?
Kind of like from my fridge.
God. Go ahead, Dan. You're gonna make me go get mine. Shoot.
Bang. Okay, is everyone ready?
Mm-hmm.
What? How do you flip your screen over? Oh wait, I see it.
Aquila, how many questions you got?
Whopping 16.
You said 16?
Con.
Let's get it. Hold on, let me go get a slider. Give me go get a slider.
Okay, con.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I can like prop my phone up. Can y'all see that? Well, can you
But
hear me?
we're gonna have to squint. We can kind of see it for me. See if we can scoot. Yeah, there we go. What land? Huh?
You can read it if you want.
What land did the Most High tell Moses to send men to search out? And the result of this was Israel being scared to war after them. I have no idea.
Oh, it's in Numbers. Does anyone have an answer?
La.
Oh, did they tell him to go back to Israel?
This was before they got the promised land.
Was this after they came out of Egypt?
Yes.
So like wilderness time?
Or go back to their tents?
It was actually before the wilderness, but I have no idea what that land was called.
This was like what caused them to go into the wilderness. You're right, sis.
Okay.
So I'm gonna flip the card. It was the land of Canaan. Numbers chapter 14. The Most High told Moses to send men to go search out Canaan, because that was going to be one of the lands that the Lord gave to Israel, to Israel. But because they were too scared because of how mighty the people looked, when the Most High told them to go take that land, then the Most High sent them to the wilderness for 40 years.
Okay, Con.
So the next one is, who bare Jacob's first child?
Leah.
Yeah, Leah.
Anyone else have an answer?
Same, Leah.
So it is Leah. Then we can go to it. I wasn't going to read the whole chapter of Numbers, but we can go to this account. Unless anyone wants to go do that.
I could read it.
You want to read Numbers 14, sis?
Con. Okay, starting at which verse?
Let me see. Go back to the card. It's not Numbers 14, it's Numbers 13.
Okay, 13 and which verse?
You can read verses 1 through 2, and then then you can go to verse 26 on down, because that's when they came back with the unfavorable report.
All right, Con. Okay, Numbers 13 and 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Send thou men, that they may search the land of Canaan, which I give unto the children of Israel. Of every tribe of their fathers shall ye send a man, every one a ruler among them. Now, 26. And they went and came to Moses and to Aaron and to all the congregation of the children of Israel unto the wilderness of Paran to Kadesh of Israel, to Kadesh, and brought back word unto them and unto all of the congregation, and showed them the fruit of the land. And they told him and said, We came into the land whither thou sentest us, and surely it floweth with milk and honey, and this is the fruit of it. Nevertheless, the people be strong that dwell in the land, and the cities are walled, and very great. And moreover, we saw the children of Anak there. The Amalekite dwell in the land of the south, and the Hittites, and the Jebusites, and the Amorites dwell in the mountains, and the Canaanites dwell by the sea, and by the coast of Jordan. And Caleb stilled the people before Moses, and said, Let us go up at once and possess it, for we are able to overcome it. But the men that went up with him said, We be not able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we. And they brought up an evil report of the land which they had searched unto the children of Israel, saying, The land through which we have gone to search it is a land that eateth up the inhabitants thereof. And all the people that we saw in it are men of great stature. And there we saw the giants and sons of Anak, which came of the giants, and we were in our own sight as grasshoppers, and so we were in their sight.
So that was before, like, they were in the wilderness, but they were like they weren't in the promised land. But after this, they were basically saying, why has the Lord brought us out of Egypt to kill us? And just speaking all madness. And the Most High, killed those men. And none of those men that were there, except for Caleb, Joshua got to see the promised land because of that. But their children did. Salakia.
I was saying, they were filled with a lot of doubt.
So Leah bared Jacob's first child. And then who took the ark of Yahawa in the book of 1 Samuel?
The heathens, other nation, the heathens. I don't know specifically, but the heathens, and that's why he sent judgment upon them.
It was the heathens. Did anyone have a specific? So I'm trying to wipe my camera.
Actually, hold on. Let me go to the account. I know it was the heathens.
It was the Philistines.
Oh, praise. You can bring that out, Iberia.
Oh, all right.
If you want.
Yeah, I got you. Hold on. Let me get to it. All right, it's the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 5, verse 1, and it reads, hold on, Salakia. It reads, and the Philistines took the ark of Yahweh and brought it from Ebenezer unto Ashdod.
And it was getting burnt up. Should read that account. I know, sister. Salakia. So how many nations did Yahweh cast out to give us the promised land?
I don't know. All of them. I know it's mentioned in the book of Exodus and Deuteronomy. I don't know how many nations, but he casted all them things out. All them crusty folks out. I don't know how many specifically though.
This is like how many nations did the Most High have us overthrow to give us Israel? Because still when the Most High gave us the promised land, there were still other nations around us. What'd you say, sis?
Was it 6 nations?
You're close.
Was it 7?
Yes, it was. Can I join? My mom's calling me and I have to answer. So I'm gonna join in like a second.
All right.
All right.
She'll be back. She'll be back. Yeah, my room is so cold. But how y'all Sabbath was? Is y'all Sabbath over? I know y'all all over the country in different time zones.
Mine was over at 5:30.
Yeah.
The sun sets a lot sooner now.
Yeah, Esau wanted to play with the time and stuff. But yeah, depression over here. My Sabbath was over an hour ago. Ada, I only got one more week of full school, and then I have a good about 70-day break. All praise to the Most High.
Fun.
All praises.
For me with school, I got like a couple more weeks. And then I'll be graduating high school.
Lord willing. All praises. Malia, where you stay at? I'm so like if I butchered your name.
I'm so lucky about that.
So what time zone is y'all in?
Can you see this? Salakia, what'd you say, Beria?
I was talking to the other sister, Malia.
Khan.
Sorry. Seven.
That's the answer to the question that you gave.
7. Yeah.
Let's go to it. Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 1. When Yahweh thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and hath cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites and the Girgashites and the and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. So, and then we see how the Most High ended up giving us the land of Canaan, even after we were, speaking so folly, not trusting in him. Can you see my screen? Is it blurry?
We see your screen.
It's good.
It's kind of blurry.
No, it's not blurry. You're good.
And this is Sarah and but I said Sarai because that's in this account, that's what her name was still. So what did Sarah do when she saw the Most High had restrained her from bearing, which is giving birth?
Was Sarah about in the book of 1 Samuel? Or was that
No,
Hannah?
Sarah's in Genesis.
Oh, I don't know.
I think I know. So I think she made a
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Sarah made like an oath. She made an oath with the Most High that if he allowed her to bear a son, then she would fully like sacrifice him to the Most High.
I know which account you're speaking of, but that's a different foremother.
Oh.
It's a mighty account. And then another sister was about to speak.
I was just gonna say, she gave her handmaid. I mean, he gave her Abraham to lay with her handmaid, right?
Con. Is anyone else gonna say anything? Okay, so yes, she told Abraham to go unto her maid Hagar. So this is Genesis chapter 16 and verse 1. Now Sarai, Abraham's wife, bare him no children, and she had a handmaid, an Egyptian, whose name was Hagar. And Sarai said to Abram, behold, Yahweh hath restrained me from bearing. I pray thee, go in unto my handmaid. It may be that I might obtain children by her. And Abraham hearkened unto the voice of Sarai. And Sarai, Abram's wife, took Hagar, her handmaid, the Egyptian, after Abram dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife. So she, we got to really look at ourselves and be like, we really, that's a mighty thing that our foremother did, a very humble thing as well. She saw that she could not have children, and she gave her handmaid to her husband so that he could have a child.
God, that's mighty. Oh, the account Abram got was with Hannah and Peninnah.
Sis.
Hannah.
So this is this next question. Who was Manassas' wife during the time of Nebuchadnezzar?
Was it Judith?
He's like, I don't know what to say, Khan or because I'm like, Khan. Does anyone else have a guess? Khan, La'ah. All right. Yes, it's Judith. And then just to get context that this was under the Nebuchadnezzar, under the king Nebuchadnezzar. I wrote Judith 1 and 1. So in the 12th year of the reign of Nebuchadnezzar, who reigned in Nineveh, the great city, in the days of Arphaxad, and reigned over Medes in Ecbatane. And then I just got Judith chapter 8 and verse 2. And it says, and Manassas was her husband of her tribe and kindred, who died in the barley harvest. And we know Judith is from Slovakia. We know Judith is from the tribe of Simeon, I'm pretty sure.
Con.
What did Solomon ask for when the Most High asked him what he wanted?
All the knowledge and understanding in the world. He wanted wisdom.
Anyone else have something else to add or say?
The same answer. Wisdom and knowledge.
So wisdom / knowledge to lead the Most High's people. And then I'm going to go to the account in 1 Kings chapter 3. And I'll start at verse 5. In Gibeon, Yahawa appeared to Solomon in a dream by night. And Yahawa said, ask what I shall give thee. And Solomon said, thou hast shewed unto thy servant David my father great mercy, according as he has walked before thee in truth and in righteousness and in uprightness of heart with thee. And thou hast kept for him this great kindness. Thou hast given him a son to sit on his throne as it is this day. And now, O Yahweh my God, Thou hast made thy servant king instead of David my father, and I am but a little child. I know not how to go out or come in. And thy servant is in the midst of thy people, which thou hast chosen, a great people that cannot be numbered nor counted for a multitude. Give therefore thy servant an understanding heart to judge thy people, that I may discern between good and bad. For who is able to judge this thy so great a people? Khan. And then the speech pleased the Most High. And then this is what the Most High gave him. I'll just read on in verse 11. And Yahweh said unto him, because thou hast asked this thing, and hast not asked for thyself long life, neither hast asked riches for thyself, nor hast asked the life of thy enemies, but hast asked for thyself understanding to discern judgment. Behold, I have given to thy words. Lo, I have given thee a wise and understanding heart, so that there was none like thee before thee, neither after thee shall any be like unto thee. And I have also given thee that which thou hast not asked, both riches and honor, so that there shall not be any among the kings like unto thee all thy days. So like the Most High, so like, yeah, we were praying, and like the Most High gives us what we ask for and what we don't ask for. He doesn't have to have mercy like that. But and then the next question: how many days is a woman unclean when she is on her issue of blood, her period?
7 days.
A week.
7 days a
7
week. Is
days.
there anything to add on to that, or is it just 7 days, no matter what the situation is?
So let me just say that Yahawa Bahashim Harsha said it's 7 days, but it's if you read on, it also says like if your issue continues past 7 days, you're still unclean. So whether you have a period of 7 days or 10 days, you're still unclean. Whether your period is only 3 days. Say for instance, you only get a period of 3 days, you're still unclean until 7 days, because that's what the Lord said.
So 7 days. If flower issue goes longer than 7 days, then for however long that issue lasts. Because remember, there was a woman who had her issue of blood. I don't know for how long time, but she basically asked Yahweh to heal her. She had her issue for a long time. She was unclean. So that's Leviticus chapter 15, and then I'm gonna read verse 19 through 20. And if a woman have an issue, is on her period, and her issue in her flesh be blood, she shall be put apart 7 days, and whosoever toucheth her shall be unclean until even. And everything that she lieth upon in her separation shall be unclean. Everything also that she sitteth upon shall be unclean. And then verse 25, and if a woman have an issue of her blood many days out of the time of her separation, and we know her separation is 7 days, or if it run beyond the time of her separation, all the days of her issue shall be of her uncleanness shall be as the days of her separation. So all of those days, she still needs to be separated. She's still unclean. She shall be unclean. What made King Solomon depart from the Most High?
The heathen wives they had him going after committing all that wicked stuff.
We have something else to add? La'a? Oh, Salakia. Does anyone say anything? Okay. Iberia, so his wives of strange nations. That's 1 Kings chapter 11, verses 1 through 4. But King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites, of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go in to them, neither shall ye come in unto neither shall they come in unto you, for surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave unto these in love. And he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines, and his wives turned away his hearts. For it came to pass, when Solomon was old, that his wives turned away his heart after other gods, and his heart was not perfect with Yahweh his God, as was the heart of David his father. And then the precept for, like, because the Most High said we're not supposed to be like with these other nations. I'm pretty sure it's Deuteronomy chapter 7:3. Let's go to it.
There might be 7
and then so let's Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 3. Neither shalt thou make any marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter unto thy son. And then we know it was talking about the other nations, because in 7:1, the Most High is saying that he will bring you into these other nations that you're going to possess, like Israel us. Okay. The water for that, sis. Slovakia. What did the Most High do to Miriam upon her and Aaron speaking against Moses? So upon just means after.
I'm not sure on that one.
He cursed her.
Slovakia,
he gave her leprosy.
That is exactly right. Made her leprous. So this is Exodus chapter 12 and verse 1. And Miriam and Aaron spoke against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married, for he had married an Ethiopian woman. Do you want me to read for all the way to 10, or it's up to you, ladies?
It's up to you.
Verse 2. And they said, hath Yahawa indeed spoken only by Moses? Hath he not spoken also by us? And Yahawa heard it. Now the man Moses was very meek above all the men which were upon the face of the earth. And Yahawa spake suddenly unto Moses and unto Aaron and unto Miriam, come out ye three unto the tabernacle of the congregation. And they three came out. And Yahawa came down in the pillar of the cloud and stood in the door of the tabernacle and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both came forth. And he said, hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, Yahawa, will make myself known unto him in a vision, and will speak unto him in a dream. My servant Moses is not so, Moses is not a prophet, who is faithful in all mine house. With Moses will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, and not in dark speeches, and in the similitude of the Lord shall he behold. Wherefore then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? And the anger of Yahweh was kindled against them, and he departed. And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. And then you can read on Moses. So this was Moses after they were speaking against him. Like, really think about it. After they were speaking against him, this is what Moses did. Verse 13. And Moses cried unto Yahweh, saying, heal her now, O Yahweh, I beseech thee. And the Lord said unto Moses, if her father had spit on her face, should she not be ashamed 7 days? Let her be shut out from the camp 7 days. After that, let her be received again. And Miriam was shut out from the camp 7 days, and the people journeyed not till Miriam was brought in again. So the Most High stirred up whose spirit to help Susanna in her time of distress, like when she was basically on trial.
Daniel.
Con. Daniel, History of Susanna. Ooh. I put chapter 1, but it's only one chapter in History of Susanna.
Salaki.
And then Oh, so lucky. It's actually 45, 44 through 45. So, and the Lord heard her voice. Therefore, when she was led, the Holy Spirit of a young youth whose name was Daniel. Now I'm asking another question. Is this the same Daniel who was put in the lion's den, who has a chapter after his name in the Bible?
Yeah.
Khan.
Yeah.
I learned that today. What is angel's bread?
I don't know.
Manna.
I want to say it's manna, but I'm not sure.
Khan. Anyone else have a guess?
Miss Mayan, Miss Nadia, and Fallon, we're gonna need y'all to participate, please, and thank you.
Kasha.
Manna.
So like, yeah, I was washing dishes.
I don't know the answer.
All right, I don't know the answer to that one either.
Khan. It is manna. So second Ezra chapter 1 and 19. Then Khan. Then had I pity on your murmurings and gave you manna to eat, so ye did eat angel's bread. So who helped Daniel in the lion's den?
The angel.
The power spirit of the Most High. But I would say what the sister said, the angels, maybe. But the king also was like, you feel me, trying to check on him and stuff. But the Most High Yahawa Shema Shah and his angels had his back on that.
Karen, I would say the same.
I got help from the sister Kalaya. So I'm not too versed in this, but it was Habakkuk. Of course, the spirit and power of the Most High ultimately. But let's go to it. So this is verses 33 through 39. So now there was a Jewry, a prophet called Habakkuk, who had made pottage and had broken bread. Salakia. Who had made pottage and had broken bread in a bowl and was going into the field for to bring it to the reapers. But the angel of Yahweh said unto Habakkuk, go carry the dinner that thou hast into Babylon unto Daniel, who is in the lion's den. And Habakkuk said, Lord, I never saw Babylon, neither do I know where the den is. Then the angel of the Lord took him by the crown and bare him by the hair of his head, and through the vehemency of his spirit set him in Babylon over the den. And Habakkuk cried, saying, O Daniel, Daniel, take the dinner which Yahweh has sent thee. And Daniel said, Thou hast remembered me, O Yahweh, neither hast thou forsaken them that seek thee and love thee. So Daniel arose and did eat, and the angel of the Lord set Habakkuk in his own place again immediately. Khan.
Okay, sis, I got another precept for this.
Khan.
All right, Daniel 6:22. My God hath sent his angel and hath shut the lion's mouth, and they have not hurt me. For as much as before him innocency was found in me, and also before thee, O king, have I done no hurt.
So is that going into like the angel of the Most High that's like different from Habakkuk?
I'm not really that sure. I haven't read that precept. Did you just bring out Bell and the Dragon? I'll have to read it to answer.
Because this is when Habakkuk sent the Most High sent him to bring food to Daniel, but then that precept you brought out, that was the angel that shut the lion's mouth. So I think it's two different things. Oh, praises. So where is the Ark of the Covenant today?
I don't know. I'm gonna be real.
Anyone else have a guess?
La.
So in a cave somewhere where Jeremiah hid it, no one knows for sure. So this is 2nd Maccabees, chapter 2, and I'm gonna start at verse 1. It is also found in the records that Jeremiah, the prophet, commanded them that were tarried away to take of the fire as it had been signified. And now that the prophet, having given them the law, charged them not to forget the commandments of the Lord, and that they should not err in their minds, when they see images of silver and gold with their ornaments. And with other such speeches exhorted he them that the law should not depart from their hearts. It was also contained in the same writing that the prophet, being warned of Yahawa, commanded the tabernacle and the ark to go with him, as he went forth into the mountain where Moses climbed up and saw the heritage of Yahawa. So I'm gonna read verse 4 again. It was also contained in the same writing that the prophet, being warned of God, commanded the tabernacle and the ark to the mountain where Moses climbed up and saw the heritage of the Most High. Then and Jeremy came thither. He found a hollow cave wherein he laid the tabernacle and the ark and the altar of incense, and so stopped the door. And some of those that followed him came to mark the way, but they could not find it. So no one could find it. And then it says, as he went forth into the mountain where Moses climbed up and saw the heritage of Yahweh. So I'm thinking of the precept where Moses was looking at the promised land, but he was not able to enter in at it because of how he went off. So I'm gonna have to change this setup really quickly.
I'll praise the Most High.
All praises to the Most High. So the next one is, why did Elijah mock the people when they called them Baal and nothing happened?
I do not know. I'm not gonna count.
Anyone have another guess?
My guess would be because Baal is a fake god. He can't do anything.
Con. I didn't have a for real precept on it, but Elijah knows the Most High God is the only God. So this is in 1 Kings chapter 18 and verses 17 through 40. And this was a mighty account. Lord, when I can get it on here. No. Here, let's read it. And it came to pass when Ahab saw Elijah, that Ahab said unto him, art thou he that troubleth Israel? And he answered, I have not troubled Israel, but thou in thy father's house, and that ye have forsaken the commandments of the Lord, and thou hast followed Balaam. Now therefore send and gather to me Israel unto Mount Carmel, and the prophets of Baal 450, and the prophets of the groves 400, which eat at Jezebel's table. So Ahab sent unto the children of Israel and gathered the prophets together unto Mount Carmel. And Elijah came unto the people and said, How long halt ye between two opinions? If Yahweh be God, follow him, but if Baal, then follow him. And the people answered him not a word. Then Elijah said unto the people, even I only remain a prophet of the Lord, but Baal's prophets are 450 men. That's madness. Let them therefore give us 2 bullocks, and let them choose 1 bullock for themselves, and cut it in pieces, and lay it on wood, and put no fire under. And I will dress the other bullock and lay it on wood, and put no fire under. So basically, Elijah's gathering the people. They're getting two bullocks and putting them like on wood with no fire under it. And then we're gonna read down. So, and call yea on the name of your gods, and I will call in the name of Yahawa. And the God that answereth by fire, let him be God. And all the people answered and said, it is well spoken. And Elijah said unto the prophets of Baal, choose you 1 bullock for yourselves, and dress it first, for ye are many, and call on the name of your gods. And they took the bullock which was given him, and they dressed it, and called on the name of Baal morning even until noon, saying, O Baal, hear us. But there was no voice, nor any that answered. And they leaped upon the altar which was made. And it came to pass at noon that Elijah mocked them. So Elijah was mocking them. Listen to what Elijah said, because their God was not answering them. And it came to pass that Elijah mocked them and said, cry aloud, for he is a God. Either he is talking, or he is pursuing, or he is on a journey, or peradventure, or perhaps he sleepeth and must be awake. So he's saying, maybe your God's just sleeping. He's just, maybe he's sleeping right now. And they cried aloud and cut themselves after the manner with knives and lancets, till the blood gushed out upon them. So you see that going after these gods gonna bug you out. But basically, look at Elijah. He's like, and then when you read down, once Elijah had to call upon the Lord once. So I'm gonna read that. So, verse 36, and it came to pass at the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice, it came near and said, Yahawa, God of Abraham, Isaac, and of Israel, let it be known this day that thou art God in Israel, and that I am thy servant, and that I have done all these things at thy word. Hear me at this, that this people may know thou art Yahweh God, Salakia, that thou hast turned it, and that thou hast turned their heart back again. So I'm going to just read it right here. Then the fire of Yahweh fell and consumed the burnt sacrifice, and the wood, and the stones, and the dust, and licked up the water that was in the trench. And when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces. He is God, Yahweh, he is God. And Elijah said unto them, take the prophets of Baal, let none of them escape. And they took them and they slew them there. So I know that was a lot, but long story short, Elijah knows the most that and mocked them, because he knew it wasn't no Baal gonna send fire. So what is the difference between the first light spoken of in Genesis chapter 1 and the second light spoken of?
The first light is wisdom. The second light is actual light. You can prove that in Genesis chapter 4, I believe. I can't hear you.
So you said the first light is wisdom?
Yeah, the first light is wisdom. I believe the first light is wisdom, and the other light is the actual light.
Is Mayan there?
I cannot see it. I'm sorry, y'all.
You can't see my screen?
Oh, that's because it goes out when the next person talks.
Oh,
I don't know that one.
Okay, so the first light was speaking of Yahawashi, and the second one was speaking of the actual sun. And because the Most High, hang on. So the first light wasn't literal light, and I'm pretty sure the precept is in Colossians chapter. Let me go to it, Lord willing.
I actually have the presets for that, but I'm not home. But and I don't remember where they're at. But I can. There's like a preset, like in Genesis itself about 2 different lights.
Well, so I'm gonna get Colossians. So Genesis. Well, actually, I can go to it on here, Lord willing, so that everyone can see it. Genesis chapter 1 and verse 3. And Yahweh saw the light that it was good, and Yahweh divided the light from the darkness. So we know that this isn't like literal light because let me see. Because then we go down to Genesis chapter 14, and Yahweh said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of heaven to divide the day from the night. Let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years." So this is to divide the day from the night. And we know that light that it was talking about in verse 4, it divided the light from the darkness. We know that, well, let's go to get more context. And Yahweh made 2 great lights, a greater light to rule the day and a lesser light to rule the night. So did the Most High make 3 lights, 1 light, 1 sun, and then 1 moon? Well, so then let's go to the book of Colossians, chapter 1. Then I'm going to go to 12, giving thanks unto the Father, which hath made us meet to be partakers of the inheritance of the saints in light, who hath delivered us from the power of darkness and hath translated us into the kingdom of his dear Son, in whom we have redemption through his blood, even the forgiveness of sins, who is the image of the invisible God, the creature. For by him were all things created that are in heaven and that are in earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were created by him and for him. So if Yahawashi wasn't created before all things, how can he create, all things? So if that light wasn't speaking of Yahawashi, how can he have created it? But I do see where you're coming, Abiria, because in the book of Sirach, there's a chapter in Sirach where it says that wisdom was created before the foundation of the world. But that light was speaking of Yahawashi. That's understanding I have.
Like you, y'all, I had to step away from my computer. Alarm keep going off.
Did you hear the precepts that I brought out?
No, it's good. You can just keep going. It's just all hell kind of breaking loose over here. It's just saying.
I was just bringing out like the light was Yahawashi.
Oh, all praises.
All praises to the Most High. Lord, I'll just send.
Oh wait, Salakia. Kaya wants to tell all of y'all shalom.
Shalom.
Hold on, Kaya. Show everyone yourself. Hold on.
Shalom.
Shalom, Kaya.
Shalom. She's so cute. But I think that was the last card. That was the last one.
Well, the water Aquila for the mighty flashcards. Your questions really had me tricked up. Lord willing, I'll combine yours with mine so we can make one big Quizlet. And after I get done combining them, I'll send it out to everybody and post it on YouTube. Post it so you can have access to yourselves. But Lord willing, y'all, I definitely got edified because I didn't know the light was Yahawa. So Lord willing, this sharpened our sword. And that's all I have to say. I love y'all so much. Keep enduring. And if Aquila have anything to say, my beautiful co-host, you know, she helps me makes the Quizlet. She makes me helps the Cahoots. Aquila plays a big, big, big part. So all praise to the Most High for that mighty, mighty sister. All praise to the Most High for Maya and Kaya for scribing. Just all praise to the Most High for putting the spirit on these sisters, you know, to help me out behind closed doors. I don't do it just by myself.
All praises to the Most High.
Kaya said, mighty sisters.
Okay, I love you all so much. Lord willing, if you can tune in to Jasper, I think Jasper said in her mom's sewing at tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern. They're gonna do a sewing thing. And then I have one, Lord willing, on Instagram. My Instagram's Aquila Israel for 11 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow, Lord willing.
God.
Shalom, Barakatah.
Shalom, love you.
Shalom.